Hello and welcome to That's English.
Hello. Today's program is all about first impressions. Las primeras impresiones.
Valerie and Bernard are having problems with their roof, con el tejado.
It's leaking. Tiene goteras.
And Bernard's cricket equipment is getting ruined. Su equipo de cricket se está estropeando.
Valerie telephones two builders, dos albañiles. And our question for you is about first impressions.
What does Bernard think of Mr. Mott, the first builder?
Valerie! The roof is leaking badly in the small bedroom.
I know. I mentioned it last night.
But my cricket equipment is getting ruined.
We'd better ask someone to look at it.
It's so difficult to find a good builder these days, and it'll probably cost a fortune.
We might be able to find someone local who's not too expensive. Perhaps someone who works on his own. Here's one that looks good.
Mr. Wilson, good afternoon. I'm Adrian Mott. I understand you've got some problems with your roof. Good afternoon. You must be Mrs. Wilson. Very pleased to meet you. What a charming house you have.
Thank you.
So, what seems to be the trouble?
Well, we have a leaking roof. All my cricket equipment is getting ruined.
Oh, are you interested in cricket then?
I certainly am. Isn't every Englishman? It's in our blood.
Absolutely. So, have you followed the match against Sri Lanka?
I certainly have. Well, some of the time.
I think England may win, don't you?
Ooh, I'm not sure about that.
Shall we have a look at the leak now?
By all means. Lead the way. So, how do you think England will do against Australia this winter?
Oh, I think that could be a tough match. The Australians are very competitive.
So what do you think, Mr. Mott?
I agree with Bernard. England will have a difficult time in Australia. Those Australians are a lot of cheats.
I mean about the roof.
Oh, I see. Well, it's difficult to say what's causing the leak. It could be a number of things.
So, what do you think, Mr. Mott?
It's difficult to say, really. I can't see much from here.
Well, why don't you use the ladder? What's wrong, Mr. Mott? Is there something wrong with our ladder?
No. It's just that I'm not very... I used to take my own ladder around with me. I mean, I don't think I'm insured for this sort of thing. I could get one of my assistants to have a look later. Actually, I think I can see from here. Yes, I think it must be one of the roof tiles over there.
But the leak is over there.
Yes. Well, it quite often happens that way. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll go off now and send you an estimate for the work. But you know, this isn't going to be cheap.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Mott. Nice chap. He's the sort of man you can trust.
I'm not so sure.
He's from an old established company.
Oh, look. I think that's the other builder.
Good grief. I'm Dale. Roof problems?
Roof problems? Problemas con el tejado? Well, they're two very different builders, aren't they? And what does Bernard think of Mr. Mott, the first builder?
Nice chap. He's the sort of man you can trust.
Es el tipo de hombre del que te puedes fiar.
Did Valerie agree with Bernard?
He's the sort of man you can trust.
I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure. She disagrees with Bernard, but she's quite polite about it.
Yes, she could have disagreed more strongly, like this.
I disagree.
Or,
I don't agree.
or,
What nonsense.
what nonsense. Qué tontería.
Those are ways of disagreeing with someone. Now, here are some ways of agreeing with someone. You can say, I agree. For example,
Cricket is a wonderful sport.
I agree. Now, here is an example of strong agreement.
Mr. Mott and Bernard both like cricket. They agree with each other about nearly everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Por supuesto. That's a very useful expression.
Absolutely. But sometimes it's good to be less strong in your opinions.
Here's a strong opinion.
England will win.
But Mr. Mott didn't say it like that. He softened his opinion. Matizó su opinión.
I think England may win.
May win. I think England may win. Puede que gane Inglaterra.
Or you can say, England might win. Podría ganar Inglaterra.
O England could win, que significa prácticamente lo mismo. Podría ganar Inglaterra.
Or perhaps England will win. Quizás gane Inglaterra.
Or if you're almost sure, you can say England will probably win. Probablemente ganará Inglaterra.
Listen out for those words. May, might, could, perhaps, and probably.
So, how do you think England will do against Australia this winter?
Oh, I think that could be a tough match.
I think that could be a tough match. Un partido reñido.
It's so difficult to find a good builder these days, and it'll probably cost a fortune.
Probablemente costará una fortuna. It'll probably cost a fortune.
We might be able to find someone local who's not too expensive.
We might be able to find someone local. Alguien de la zona.
It's difficult to say what's causing the leak. It could be a number of things.
Podría deberse a varias cosas. It could be a number of things.
Mr. Mott wasn't very helpful, was he? Let's see if the second builder, Dale, is more helpful.
You'll see that Bernard's opinion of Dale changes quite a lot. What does Bernard think of him at first?
And what does he think of him later?
I'm Dale. Roof problems?
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm so glad you could come.
Let's have a look. It's that first floor room, isn't it?
It is. How did you know that?
Well, I can see something's wrong from here. Let's have a closer look. Thought so. It's your rainwater pipes. Need a whole new system. Cost you about £300?
Fine. When can you start?
Monday.
Well, I don't think much of him.
What do you mean?
I'm not quite sure. There was something funny about him. And he was a bit rude.
Well, he seems to know his job.
But he'll be here next week when we're at work. He might steal something.
Oh, Bernard.
Well, he has got an earring and tattoos. You can't trust people with earrings.
There you are, Mrs. Wilson. That might fix it.
That's great. So how much do we owe you for that job?
Oh, nothing, mate. Only took me 5 minutes.
Most builders would charge a lot for doing that.
Or perhaps you could come over for dinner next week.
That would be nice.
How about next Wednesday?
Yes. Why don't you bring your partner?
Yeah, sure. We'll look forward to that. See you.
Thanks.
Bye. Ah, such a nice chap. But he doesn't talk much.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. This is Peter. Peter. This is Bernard. And Valerie.
This was Bernard's first impression.
Well, I didn't think much of him.
No me causó muy buena impresión.
So, that was Bernard's first impression. But his opinion changed when Dale completed the work.
Such a nice chap.
Que tío tan majo. Such a nice chap.
And that's all we have time for. Bye for now.
Goodbye.